Welcome back to another Cube video. I am back from Oklahoma with about 2 hours left to draft on the client until they take away powered Cube. So, one thing that happened over the weekend, I did make Mythic, and unfortunately they took it away because of the resets. But that's neither here nor there. Let's focus on the now. Here, I really want to take Workshop. Necromancy is another strong choice. There's always a Johnny. I have not played with the Johnny yet, or I haven't built like a dedicated Johnny deck. Do we want to play an aggro strategy to end this season, so to speak? I don't think so. I just don't really enjoy playing those decks, and they keep making it worse and worse because other cubers have complained publicly about the archetype. So I'm just gonna take the Workshop. I think that's the most fun card. I don't fault anyone for taking Necromancy either. I just prefer to play artifacts more than Reanimator. Necromancy doesn't have to be in a dedicated Reanimator shell, so that probably is supposed to get the nod, where at Workshop you very clearly want to play a bunch of artifacts. Well, here's an artifact. Had I taken a Johnny, probably taking Wandering Emperor. If I took Necromancy, I might lean towards him to Turok. I'm glad I didn't take Necromancy so far, at least. It's only one pick in. I am holding up the draft, unfortunately, but I think I'm just going to take Currency Converter here. It's good regardless if we want to play artifacts or not, so. And now there's a Flooded Strand. Yeah, if I took a Johnny, I'm probably taking Adeline here. And then Necromancy, I'm probably still taking Flooded Strand. I don't think Rafine Tower this early is necessarily good. Oh, there's a Candelabra. I could just snatch that up. I could also take Underground Sea. The benefit to taking Candelabra is that you don't tempt anyone else into taking it. So if someone else doesn't have Academy yet, they may not see this like pick 7 or 8 and spec on it. I think I said that wrong, but I hope that you know what I'm talking about. Either way, I want to take it here. It's a Lotus Petal. There's another Polluted Delta. By another, I mean another fetch land. But here I'm going to take the Petal. I'm going to assume that the person to my right and maybe the person beyond them are not playing artifacts at this point. Cosmogrand Zenith is very good, and I have a bunch of low drops so far, so triggering it is not the hardest. I already have a Flooded Strand even. I think I like that better than taking Dig. Alternatively, there's Tursa, but I'm gonna take Cosmogrand. This is not shaping up excellently. I mean, it is pick 7, but still. I guess here, I don't really want to take a Mana Tithe. I wouldn't complain if this and maybe a Balance is like our only white cards, so I don't really want to go into white more. I'll just take the Signet. It's a white fetch. It's also a Flage. Notably, the Necromancy pick hasn't really lined up all that well either. Like, there's the Harvester of Misery, and then there was a Baragwaif if I didn't mention it. But that's about it. If I was playing the Ajani deck, I'm probably still taking Windswept Heath here, but there's also a Flage I do recognize. Yeah, let's just take the white fetch. Maybe we'll play more white than I would otherwise normally. I mean, there's some decent removal. There's also an Eagles if I'm trying to dedicate into white, which, sure, Eagles goes very well with Currency Converter. You can go get a Plains and make a 2/2 in the same turn for less mana than it is to activate Currency Converter, so. All right, let's hope for some 3s and 4-drop artifacts. That would be nice. Let's open up a 1 ring. I'm supposed to take a Johnny here. The Johnny's great with Skull Clamp if we can get one, and so is Cosmogrand Zenith, honestly, because you can just make more 1/1s. I think I like that better than Timeless Dragon. The awkward part of all this, of course, is that you know, we could have had an Ajani, but the 2-mana Ajani, I should specify, I suppose. This seems terrible, but sure, whatever. Sure. I mean, I guess we can maybe cast this. I'm going to take the Godless Shrine as it's fetchable. I don't think we necessarily need a Cathar Commando, although I don't blame anyone for taking it there. Alright, apparently we should have just played Boros. That is how the packs broke, after all. There's a Saga. I don't really want Expedition map. There's a Mother of Runes if I want to just commit to that, but that seems really bad and not great here. Yeah, after passing on Adeline and the 2-mana Ajani, I don't know. Like, those are some of the better reasons to play a white aggressive deck. So I'm just going to take the Saga and hope to right the ship. There's an Ancient Tomb. There's also a Fable. Also a Raw Green Triome, but I'm going to take the Ancient Tomb. There's a Mana Drain that's actually really nice, but we have very little blue. Yeah, I guess I'll take the Mightstone Weakstone. I really want to make this workshop work out. There's a Coveted Jewel. I actually said it right for once. That's funny. There's a Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, we're going to take the Coveted Jewel. There's now a Saheeli. Sure, we'll take the Saheeli. It's Wasteland. Don't think we're a Wasteland deck. We're not really a blue deck either currently. But I suppose we could get there. We'll take the counterspell. I just don't really think we're a Wasteland deck right now. Trinket Mage is not bad. I'll take that. There's a Titan. Oh, there's a Displacer Kitten to go with our Coveted Jewel or our Mightstone Weakstone. That's actually really, really good. Hey, we're not holding up the draft anymore. Nice. Yeah, this deck has a lot of problems, unfortunately. Probably should have just played it safe and played and took the Ajani. I don't think the Necromancy really worked out that well either, or would have, unless I would have played like some 2 or 3 color like fair value deck. But based on how the packs went, I think the Ajani would have led us to. I'm trying to find the word. I think the Ajani would have led us to like I don't want to say the word better, but since I can't think of the other word, a better deck, something I'm more confident in. Sure, we'll take a Prismatic Ending here. I do think taking the Jeskai Triumph was really nice. Really, really good pickup. Excuse me. I am very tired. This weekend has been very daunting with driving back and forth and not getting a whole lot of sleep. Here, I'm just going to spec on the Stoneforge Mystic. We're not getting back a Jit. I wouldn't want a Jit anyways, but Batter Skull, Cauldron Complete, Skull Clamp, those are all great. I would play a Corey Steelcutter in this deck still too, even though we don't have a ton of ones. I literally don't want any of these. Sure, we'll take the white black land. We have a few of those. Black Splash is becoming free. I do apologize for the yawning. I saw that there was, roughly 2 hours left in the draft in the cube, so I was like, you know what, let's do it. I haven't even worked on the video I quote unquote made mythic in yet. But that'll be uploaded before y'all see this, so not really relevant. Well, that is unfortunate. We're gonna have a very bad time in this draft. I mean, we're already having a bad time in the draft. I meant in the games. I kind of want to take the blue-white dual land if we want to try to maybe play this counterspell. But I also just want Workshop to not be absolute garbage. So I want to take the Talisman. I'm sure people are judging me, and that's fine. It's my 1,500 gems I'm burning, not yours. But who knows? I've drafted some stinkers before, and we've done well. Well, there's a past Mox Emerald. And it's our companion Emerald. I should have had better faith, actually. That's on me. Yeah, unfortunately, Time Spiral's not going to wheel. Not that we necessarily want it. Mystic Confluence isn't going to wheel. Maybe Record or Bankbuster wheels. Excuse me, I am so sorry. I know Will and Adam, if they're still watching, they might appreciate that. But I'm obviously going to take the companion Mox Emerald here. Okay. Well, Aang is not bad. They really are not. But I'm going to just take a fetch land. There's also a Bowmasters. I mean, our Black Splash is kind of free. All right, fine. I'll take the Bowmasters. How about that? I'd actually play some of these black duels that we were gifted. Plus, who knows? Maybe the Time Spiral does wheel, and then maybe we eke out some wins because we drew 2 cards that are really good with each other. Meanwhile, the rest of the deck is absolute garbage. There's a Tamiyo. I think I'm going to take the Tamiyo. I could also see taking the Tundra. Not really a Steam Vince deck. I really do like the Tundra, don't get me wrong. Having untapped fetchable off of our 2 fetches over this Triome would be nice, but we still need playables, and Tamiyo's a nice playable, so we'll take it. There's a Corey Steelcutter. That could put us into red. And a bunch of red-white duels or blue-red duels, so... I mean, we do have the Triome. We also have Make Treasure off Currency Converter. I mean, I don't really want anything else in this pack. I would probably take Mana Confluence if this was almost literally anything else, but we'll take it. That's a Seachrome. Seachrome's nice. The Multiversal Passage is also very nice. I also just like having Lauren revealed. I'm going to take that because it's the Triome. We don't have a Underground Sea. We passed on that, but it's all the other colors. I drafted a Dimir deck that was absolute trash the other day that trophied. And it was on the back of having a Damnation into Narset Days Undoing, so not damn, but Damnation. I'm just hovering over it to say that, if our opponent can just play to the board a bunch of times and then we sweep them up and say GG's, I'm not going to complain. I'll just take the Soul Guide Lantern. The Soul Guide Lantern is actually very strong, in my opinion. I mean, this destroys artifacts, but it's another sweeper. There's also just a blue equipment we can go get. We don't have an Academy, so I don't really want to play the third path. Oh. I'll take a Thunder Trap Trainer. That finds Mightstone, Weakstone to do some cool stuff. Okay, sorry, Adam and Will. I'm going to take the Time Spiral because we took Orcish Bowmasters. Now I kind of wish I took the oh, what's it called? I wish I took the Shieldred now, but we were so far away from black at the time. I didn't even mention that I noticed it. It just wasn't on my. It was on my radar. Obviously, I noticed it, but it wasn't a real take, in my opinion. Sure, we'll take this. Gosh, this draft is terrible. I am so sorry. This is the last draft. But you know what? We trophied the last time I was saying that, so we'll see. Sure. I don't want any of this. Sure. Okay. The Legend of Roku, I mean, I think we'll firmly be into red. I mean, that's a really good one. I'll see you in deck. The NYSE is returning for its 10th installment. This event will be held June 6th at the Knights of Columbus in Patchogue, New York. Top 8 prizes include all 5 Moxen, Time Walk, Ancestral Recall, and even a Black Lotus. Proxies are allowed for this event. Please use the link in the description for more information on proxies and other questions you may have. Now let's get back to the video. All right, this is what I'm going with. I do apologize for the absolute pile, but if we can make cards like Damnation, like I said in the video earlier, or Bowmasters just really shine and draw those, then I think we have a real chance. Cosmic Grand Zenith can take over a game by itself. It just depends on how many times I can trigger it. And then I did end up playing the Tursa, and I think the Legend of Roku is going to be really sweet too. I can't wait to play with this card. I think I've played with it once. It might have been in my own cube though, so don't quote me. But it was a lot of fun when I did see it. So anyways, yeah, we're not playing the Coveted Jewel. I'm not playing the Workshop. I'm going to play the Ancient Tomb and the Urza Saga. I'm still going to play the Milestone Weakstone as it's a decent, I mean, it's just a really solid card. Like, it's removal. It's a really bad dismember when you need it to be. And it can draw you 2 cards. But also, I do want to play the Displacer Kitten, and being able to just blink this over and over again is just incredible. So we're going to do it. I don't expect much. If we 1 in 3, I'm predicting a 1 in 3. If we do anything better than that, cool. I don't think this deck could do better than a 2-3, but we'll see. I would love to be wrong. I will catch you guys in the first round. I am proud to announce the 2026 Oklahoma Land Run Weekend, July 10th through the 12th. This event will be held at the Reed Convention Center in Midwest City, Oklahoma. Join me and my vintage family for a weekend of Magic the Gathering events featuring huge prizes and competitive play across multiple formats. Main events include a Vintage, a Legacy, and a Team Trios event, including Vintage, Legacy, and Modern. Don't have power? No worries. You can proxy any card currently on the reserve list. Side events so far include a High Roller Vintage Cube for Power Thursday evening, at least one old school charity event, a pre-modern challenge also Thursday evening hosted by Game HQ, Duel Commander, and even more to follow. For more information, please use the links in the description to join the Oklahoma Land Run Discord. I'll see you there. Now let's get back to the video. Round 1. Oh, well, I'm confused. Maybe they don't like their deck and they're just trying to give wins away so that they can draft again before the time goes out. That's the only thing I can think of. So yeah, this one doesn't count. Welcome to round 2. I hope that last win won't be our only win, but I guess we'll take it nonetheless. I do appreciate them if what I was saying is in fact what happened. Here I'm probably just going to play the Astro Legends Planisphere. I could make a 2/2 and go get an island, but I'm just gonna play this. If they have a Spell Piercing, cool, I guess I get punished. Looks like they do. Or they have a Lorien Revealed of their own. Oh, that's 100% okay. Now I get to play a Tursa, and oh my gosh. I mean, if they have a counter for this, then cool, but okay, they do not. I don't think I'm a Kitten deck. I'd rather hold up the Soul Guide Lantern just in case. We're not even guaranteed to hit a land. And of course we hit 2 of them, but that's fine. And let's attack. Yeah, the Daze there is very aggressive. I would understand dazing a currency converter because it just gets so much value throughout the game, and if they're a blue-based deck, I could see them struggle against it. Sure, that's so much fine. It's not even funny. Let's just... this could punish me for being lazy, but I just want to F6. They're going to take the Soul Guide Lantern. We're going to not care. At this point, we're going to cycle the Rogrim Triome. I was going to say, if they're blocking, that's pretty good for us. Still going to make a 2-2 if I cycle the Rogrim Triome, but resolves. Well, if we're able to play circles around our opponent, I don't mean like my skill is outskilling their skill. I just mean the way the cards have lined up, nothing they have done so far has mattered. And we're still doing a thing. So that's what I mean. But yeah, if we continue to play circles around our opponent, we might get this win too. Currency Converter, you are so good. I love this card so much. That's a Thundertrap Trainer. It's too bad I don't have double black. I only have single black. Let's see how they want to block. Okay, they do want to block. I think I just want to make a treasure and double cast this Thundertrap Trainer. They can't have another daze, so here we go. I guess I'll take the Expressive. I don't think I want the others. Our opponent doesn't seem to have the world's best hand. And I guess I'll take the Mox. And I'll play the Mox because they already know about it. Okay. I guess we'll do a 2-0 start. I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 3. Before we get to... oh, did not mean to click that, but I think it'll work out fine. This can get the Triome, and then now we have, at least for Expressive Iteration. Anyways, as I was saying, do not get too excited that we are 2-0. We are 2-0 by a fluke. With that said, I still accept these. Okay, so now we just have natural island, so now our Windswept Heath can get a black source. So yeah, we're going to do this. In game 1, before our opponent conceded, part of our fluke for our 2-0, I did have a Candelabra. I did not have a chance to explain it. I realized that the deck tech did not go over it either. Edward, why are you playing a Candelabra? You took out the Mishra's Workshop. Why are you bad at Magic? To the first question, there's still Urza Saga, and this card is insane with Urza Saga if you can get it to double activate. Second question, because I'm sorry. I'm trying, but I'm still very, very bad at Magic. So the last thing, though, is that this can help fix. So our opponent, okay, opponent, giving me the GGs before anything else is done. That's funny. Anyways, so it could fix mana. So like right now we only have one blue source, where now, so now we have double blue if we want the counterspell. Here, I'm just going to play Legion Extruder. I'm just going to hit this. And then lastly, we can sack this Candelabra to the Legion Extruder. We also have a couple different ways we can discard the Candelabra. I think the upside is nice enough that the downside is kind of meh. And our deck is absolute hot garbage regardless, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, those are my thoughts on why I'm still playing the Candelabra. Keeping up Counterspell might have been a good decision. However, my argument against that is that they have Retrofitter Foundry, so they could take over the game without me doing anything anyways. So here we are. Oh, if they're just passing, I feel much better moving forward. Because now I can play another mountain, play a Talisman, hold up double blue, and or Legion Extruder. Oh, these are servos. They're different art, so I didn't recognize it. But yeah, that's cool. Good for them. Yeah, the other one, not Sahili, but the we passed on them in the draft. The 2/1 that makes the artifact soldiers. I just for some reason my brain didn't connect these that they go together. Well, our opponent is taking a long time for someone who is confidently good gaming us on turn 1. Or it might have been their turn 2, regardless. Sure. They're going to make a 4/4. Fantastic. I'm so glad you figured it out. I'm very proud of you. All right. Here. So I think this land needs to get a Triome, or at least a white source in general, like, because I think finding Dam is going to be one of our best. And I don't even want to say outs, but here I'm gonna lead on Expressive and see what we find. Well, that's unfortunate because you can't cycle this from exile. That is very unfortunate. All right. I was hoping to find a Dam there so that they can, make artifacts and 4/4s at sorcery speed again, and I can kind of blow them out, but well, our opponent tanking again. I do apologize for the lack of content here. Great. They figured out to play an island, and by island, I mean Flooded Strand. Fantastic for them. Yep. They found the combat button. Sorry. I just the whole good game after turn 1 or whatever just did not sit well with me. So now I'm going to make fun of our opponent the rest of the time. Yeah, yep, making sorcery speed things again. Opponent too lazy to not F6. I really hope I draw a Dam. Because again, this getting the Triome, which honestly is probably going to get tapped at Godless Shrine, but either way, this getting white mana, we can filter Candelabra Taunos. And that'd be really cool since I explained that this match, if we can draw it and then do it and then tell our opponents GG, even though they probably will still win, but it'll be funny. Yeah, let's just get the tapped black source. Enters tapped. And if we can draw 1-drop, I can Cosmogrant and buy some time too. Let's play Stoneforge Mystic. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to just get the Quarry Steelcutter. And then now I can double block a 4/4, go to 6, kill a 4/4. And then start making some dorks after that. I'm probably going to go Cosmogrant, Zenith into Quarry Steelcutter. Keep in mind, I still have Counterspell up. Thanks to Candelabra Taunos being able to... I can tap Float Blue, for those of you that aren't familiar with this card. And then I could use red mana to untap my island, and I've already floated blue, so then it makes second blue. All right, well, here I'm just going to sack this Candelabra. I don't have a dam. I can cast all the spells currently in my hand, and I just need to stem some bleeding. And they have to choose: do they want the Stoneforge Mystic or the Quarry Steelcutter? Okay, I'm sorry, or the 3/3. The 3/3 makes sense, by the way. But now, theoretically, I could Quarry Steelcutter, play Cosmogrand. So yeah, if I draw a Lotus Petal here, that would be my best draw in my deck, not close. Lotus Petal would be an absurd draw here because it would trigger both of my things. Okay, never mind. I don't want to draw Lotus Petal anymore. Let's draw like Orcish Bowmasters. Orcish Bowmasters is now my best draw. Okay, that is not anywhere near my best draw. My opponent still GGing me. So here, let's Cosmogrand. And then let's Quarry Steelcutter. That'll trigger. I'll make 2 1/1s. So now we can block. Yeah, you make a flyer. Oh no, they just make another servo. I would have made a flyer and put me to 4, but whatever. Either way, next turn I get to kill a 4/4 and use the Talisman to generate a Quarry Steelcutter and a Cosmogrand trigger. Glad they're just drawing lands, although they do get to just endlessly retrofit her over and over and over again, unfortunately. Yeah, sure. Yep, turn that one. Yeah, see how it's different art? That's what was throwing me off earlier. Yep. Congrats, you traded a token for nothing, and I fogged you. And it's only going to get worse for here, so if they don't kill me soon... Ooh, Orcish Bowmasters was actually an insane draw. I think what I'm supposed to do now is play Talisman, and then when they go to untap their retro, I can snipe their 1/1 flyer. And then that'll still trigger Cosmogrand. I could get blown out from this, but based on how our opponent's playing, I think this is what I want to do. And I am going to attack here because now they might untap and make a 4/4 immediately to block if they think that I'm the one being terrible. Make some more 1/1s. God, I want to GG them so bad. Please, please let me win this game. I feel like I deserve it. All right, now they'll block with Vidal, whatever this thing is, Voldarian. I don't see why they would just let Saheeli die. There we go. You know, it's funny. Our opponent can apparently see into the future multiple turns, which is why they keep good gaming me. But they can't see that they should keep resources alive. Or at least it takes them longer. So they have like 5 turn ahead vision, but not like active turn vision. I'm sorry, I'm being mean again. I just don't get the good games on turn 1, and then they did it again, and it's just like, all right. I hope they watch this later. I hope they find my channel eventually and find this game, and then they can have some inner thought and be like, should I do these things? Probably not. Yep. So again, we're witnessing the lack of in-turn sight, sacrificing for, you know, the 5-turn ahead sight. So there's a Lion Sash. I'm just gonna counterspell. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to use this, and they're not guaranteed to cast another spell, and this gets things off the board. Oh. That was an incredibly good draw. Now here's the thing. Do I pump the board? I'm definitely killing the 4/4. But do I pump the board? I actually don't know. I'm going to. They don't have the mana to like make a bunch of dudes. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, they're off by 1. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. They're off by 1. I guess with that, I will just leave 2 blockers back. Well, let's see here. They make a 1/1. They can't untap. I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, if they're using a 1/1 to block, then it's even less likely that they can win. Oh, come on. Come on. I deserve this. I deserve this, chat. Non-existent chat, because I'm recording. Oh, come on. Say good games and then concede. Please. If I lose this from here, I'm going to be heartbroken. Yep. I'll kill the Saheeli. That makes more people. Good game. Oh man, that felt so good. And even better, we're on a 3-0 start with this pile. I'm so glad I didn't abandon ship and we played. And yeah, that was, if nothing else, that game alone was worth the video in its entirety. So yeah, I'll see you in round 4. Welcome to round 4. Yeah, I'll keep this. We have a couple lands. We have an expressive iteration. We have a Soul Guide Lantern in case our opponent's Reanimator or Breach. I think this hand is perfectly reasonable. In fact, our deck doesn't really do much, so this is probably one of the better hands I could ask for, in all honesty. So our opponent's still thinking if they want a mulligan. Those are some cool sleeves. I don't know what it's in context to, but they're not as cool as, you know, the Black Lotus sleeves, though. These things are sweet. I do really want, like, the Ice Age. We're going to keep, as I already said. I do really want the Ice Age sleeves, because then I'll just, like, use my Black Lotus thing here instead of my April Fool's token, but... Excuse me. Okay, well, this is unfortunate. It's only unfortunate that we have the Soul Guide Lantern, and our opponent is very likely to not be relevant for the graveyard part, but we can always cycle this later. Oh, no. Okay. Well, we might get loosed. Okay, here I'm definitely just going to play this Talisman. That's actually kind of nice. And then we'll cycle the Soul Guide end of turn. If they play an Uro, then they quote-unquote get us, then good for them. But I think we need resources now. MacD. Okay. Interesting. We will take 4. Yep. Really need an untap land here. So That is not an untapped land. Yeah, let's just use our mana as best as we can, because this doesn't say lands. Daze me. That'd be sweet. I won't concede, but I'll want to. Oh, consult. Okay. Sure, go find your lightning grooves. Nadu is a deck I have yet to be able to draft. I really want to. I really like green. I think a lot of people kind of talk negatively of green in this cube. And the way this cube is built, I actually think green is kind of good. Okay, well that doesn't help, but at least those are exiled off the top of our deck and never to be seen again. So that's nice. Probably going to lead with a Cosmogran Zenith into something here. We are going to be taking a lot of flying damage, unfortunately. I could Tursa instead. I can't do both, right? And then Tursa can try to find... Tursa can try to find something. Like a dam. A dam would be very nice. So yeah, I'm probably supposed to Tursa, as much as I don't want to. Alright, let's try to find a dam. It's probably just these two, unfortunately, because next turn I can theoretically time spiral into something. I do have the mana to Expressive Iteration. Yeah. I can get back the Cosmogrand eventually. Oh. Well, that's really unfortunate, because I wanted to get the Duragreen Triumph. Oh well. It's too bad I'm not 1 mana short. I know they would draw a ton of cards. Actually, they really wouldn't. I mean, they draw a ton of outs, or potential outs to the time spiral to counter it. But yeah, all the cards that they would get back from the Orcish Bowmasters would just be shuffled back away if they don't have anything. I don't expect us to last much longer in this game. We're kind of going through the motions. I do think that my best outs are draw dam. Unfortunately, we don't have Ragoon Triumph to get, but at least we have Godless Shrine. So it's not possible to draw Lotus Petal and untap land here, unfortunately. Otherwise, we could potentially do some shenanigans. Yeah, I think this is what I need to do. Come on, let's draw a dam. That's not a dam. All right, well, we get to take our ball and go home. I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 5. Yeah, I'll keep this. This has a Stoneforge Mystic and a currency converter, and yeah, keep. Not gonna lead on Stoneforge Mystic, obviously, but I will lead on currency converter. And I will also play Lotus Petal. If our opponent plays a swamp of almost any kind, I will play the Soul Guide. Okay, no, we're safe to play the Quarry Steelcutter. Or, sorry, Stoneforge Mystic to go get Quarry Steelcutter. I guess I should probably get the one I can cast. I know there's Lotus Petal out, but... that's funny. Orcish Bowmasters was my next draw. Yeah, let's just get the Quarry Steelcutter. Remember, I can Stoneforge Mystic it. I really hope to draw some lands. If I don't draw any lands, I will probably crack the Lotus Petal for Expressive Iteration, which isn't the worst exchange rate. Oh, they're going to get a much better equipment. Don't get a Cauldron. Honestly, even a Batterskull is going to be very annoying. Yeah. Land does help. How do they? Oh, okay. They started hovering over their Stoneforge Mystic. I was like, do you have the Cauldron complete already? That would be brutal. Candelabra. Yeah, that's expressive. If we could find the Astrolabe, that wouldn't be terrible. I mean, this is pretty terrible, but Cosmogrand at least is a massive board. I doubt we'll ever have the draw power to do so, but Cosmogrand, Displacer Kitten, Blink Cosmogrand, trigger it multiple times in one turn would be cool. I just don't think we're ever going to have the card advantage to pull that off in this deck. Yeah, here we don't really have much, and not even worth sacking Soul Guide yet, because we already played a land, so here we are. Yep, put into play your Batterskull. They could potentially still have Cauldron complete and just slow rolling it. Put us on the back foot. If it's just Batterskull, we have some time. It looks like it might just be Batterskull. Yes, okay. I mean, I'm going to take the block while I can, because right now all of our permanents are white, and they can make the germ unblockable, so we don't want to get too low life. And, I mean, that Quarry Steel Cutter token was technically free. So we're not even down a resource yet. I really hope we can draw a low drop. This is going to cycle now. We're 1 mana short. Ooh. Oh, that's too bad. Without a Mox or this making treasure, we can't hit the Batterskull, and they have 3 mana up anyways. Hitting the Germ is just going to result in them bouncing and replaying. They also have Giver of Runes. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to Cosmogrand, and then we're going to hit the Giver of Runes, because it's all we really can do. If they have Reprieve, they should Reprieve this. If they have Mana Tithe, then good for... Oh, no, pay 0. Then good for them, but I'm not going to not play this, so here we are. Let's make some 1/1s, buy some time. I do wish... So, I really like Arena, don't get me wrong, but I really wish that they would incorporate some of the Moto features into it, where, like, always yield, and an actual F6. Because even though you could like shift enter or whatever, sometimes it still makes you make decisions or whatever. And it's just really annoying. And by make decisions, I mean, it's like, would you like to resolve or resolve all? And it's like, I shift entered. Why are we still talking about this? But that's neither here nor there. If I can get a 5th land and start blinking these, that would be very strong. Okay, Galvanic Blast for a free resource deal. I guess they're just trying to be mana efficient, but still. Like, I feel like you want to hit the Stoneforge Mystic, but from their perspective, the 2/2 prowess probably looks scarier than Stoneforge Mystic. I would take a resource off the board. Corey Steelcutter's still going to do its thing. You have a Batter Skull, you're going to be gaining a ton of life. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe. I mean, I didn't search for a Batter Skull or a Cauldron Complete, so it's likely I don't have one in my deck. But I did tank for a while, so clearly I have other equipment. Opponent thinking. This is not the most Lutri deck. I mean, Lutri's free to play as your companion regardless, but I'm thinking at this point it's for like Fury, maybe Pyrokinesis, pitching, and not necessarily anything else. Now they are missing lands, so like they could be blue as well, and maybe they have a Time Walk or some other really awesome spell. But here, at this point, I think Lutri is just a Pyrokinesis target and or a Fury, and I don't think they have either, because if you had Fury or Pyrokinesis, this is a pretty good board to cast those things on. So opponent is timing out. Opponent finally making a decision. Let's hope they don't have Felia. Felia would be brutal. Okay. That puts a massive damper in our win percentage moving forward. They must have an absolutely incredible hand if it took them that long to determine Flame Slashing Cosmic Grand Zenith was a good line. Let's just take out the 4/4. It'll take a lot of time for them to catch that back up. And then, do I want to... I could just equip, but I'd rather just draw a discard, and I'll wait to do that. I would love to draw, like, almost any spell. Like, if I can go Displacer Kitten spell and start blinking the Mightstone Weakstone, I think we have a real chance. I will double block here. If they have a removal spell and they get both my things, that's honestly fine. Sure. Swords on the Stoneforge Mystic. So to finish my thought, it means they have one less removal for our Displacer Kitten. I'm still gonna draw a discard even though I'm effectively milling, but it gets us something. Okay, that's perfect. I mean, I guess I'd rather... I don't know, I guess I wouldn't rather it be a spell, but either way, it's something I don't mind discarding. That is atrocious. That is equally atrocious. I don't want to play out Displacer Kitten without being able to use it. So they're going to bounce Batter Skull here, unfortunately. It's not too late, but if we were able to start blinking the Mightstone Weakstone and clear their board, I liked our chances there. Okay, they are playing more lands. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for us. Okay, they have more cards than us, so Robber is not going to do much. Sure. Please draw a spell, Edward. I have 2 chances to draw a spell here. That's a damn. Yeah, flash in that Batter Skull. Go ahead. Go ahead and flash on the Batter Skull. What's funny is that even if they have Reprieve, because of Candelabra, I can reset my lands using my Mightstone Weakstone. Okay. Damn was a great draw. Absolutely incredible draw. Sarah Paragon, not great. In fact, some could say terrible. I would say terrible. Hi, I'm some. Orcish Bowmasters, that's too bad. All right. Don't play Stoneforge. No! Oh, that's abysmal. Maybe they're just doing it for the Batterskull. Maybe their second equipment's not that great. But the fact that it's a tutor regardless is really annoying. Oh, Lion Sash, that's not the end of the world. All right, come on, spell, Edward. Spell. No, that's not a spell. Yep. Please draw a spell. Okay, that's a spell. And even better, it's a spell that can wipe the board again. I'm not going to get greedy and hope that one of my 2 draws is castable. All right. Let's draw a spell. This Legion Extruder is just going to sack this Candelabra. And just get in a 3/3 and play. Hopefully they just play Batterskull and say go. That would be great. Parallax Wave is a problem. Still going to sack the 3/3 and make them use it so I can get the kitten back faster, but that is a shame. Counterspell is a little bit too late. All right, well, might have been a mistake to attack. I do get to make a treasure and sack that treasure to make a 3/3. Yeah, we'll counterspell that. Thank you. I could also just make a 2/2. That's probably better. Well, they won't be attacking. That's nice. Here I am actually just going to make a treasure. I think I actually like that better. Because next turn, depending on if I draw an artifact or not, I can still make 2 things. Ooh. Well, I'm going to be putting Bowmasters back in the deck. I think I'm supposed to do this. I think I'm supposed to do this. If it's wrong, I'm sorry, but I think the biggest thing is that it makes it to the Lion Sash isn't going to be massive. And at this point, I think they are winning the board. I think in a couple turns that can change drastically if we move forward, but it could also change drastically to improve their board as well. So it's too bad that it wasn't able to Bowmasters. But they have the Parallax Wave regardless, so they'd be able to blink it out. Okay, we found a counterspell. That's actually really nice. Okay, so that's our first spell. We don't have a Cosmogrand. Let's play Mox. That'll trigger. I need to be careful because I want to hold up Counterspell. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to like hard cast this per se. But I can Tursa. And Tursa's probably going to get rid of Godless Shrine Eagles. Now I get to play Urza Saga. I could Thunder Trap Trainer, but I don't think that's appropriate. I think I'm supposed to wait. Like, I already have the Counterspell. And here I'm just going to jam. I'm just going to attack with a bunch of things. And try to get them dead. And then Counterspell something. And say good games, hopefully. and actually mean it. There we go. Okay. So yeah. Because again, I can turn my Mox into a 3/3. And then we'll get our Displacer Kitten back eventually. And then we'll just kind of go hog wild from there. Hog wild's a technical term for those following at home. I do apologize for our opponent delaying. There we go. Let's see if they want to block it all. I assume they're just going to eat 2 tokens, like the 3/3 and the 2/2. Oh, if they eat Tursa, why are you eating Tursa? That has an ETB. Oh, they might have a Containment Priest. We figured it out. They have Containment Priest. That's the only reason to do this. If they hit the Construct, I'm just going to sack the Construct to my Legion Extruder. Okay. Sure. All right. So now they're going to, in response to the Parallax Wave trigger, flash in a Containment Priest that I am going to counterspell. Never mind. Wait, so is this happening or not? Okay, yeah, there it goes. Yeah, good game. I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 6. We are fighting for our life. Somehow we are 4-1. This hand is not the strongest. But we do have a red source in the Lorien reveal. The Candelabra gets the double red. I think this hand is functional. And if our opponent is doing graveyard stuff, which it looks like it is with the Lurrus, then this could be nice. Again, same reason for our last keep. Like, this is a functioning hand. It has a plan. It can do things. We have the double red with Lorien revealed Candelabra. Let's keep. I think I just want to play out the Candelabra. And then next turn we can cycle Lorien revealed for the Jeskai land and play it tapped. I don't want to play the Soul Guide Lantern out yet, if I don't have to. Okay, Bomat Courier is fine. That's actually even better. Because now I can play out the Soul Guide Lantern just to use up my mana. This will still get a Jeskai land. I would love to draw Orcish Bowmasters. Orcish Bowmasters is going to be among our best draws. I'm going to fetch this anyways. I might as well give our opponent some anxiety while I'm doing it. There we go. Days, okay. Well, glad we don't have to worry about that. Okay, that is what we call not a good draw. I'm debating if I'm supposed to cycle this first. Bowmasters is no longer a good draw. I mean, it's a fine draw. It's just not a great one. I'm just going to lead this tapped and say go. Leave up double blue. Maybe that makes our opponent think. I doubt it. Most players I notice on Arena, especially ones playing aggressive decks, just kind of jam. Mana Tithe and Days go a long way on Arena. I've noticed, at least in my personal experience. I hope they're just exiling nothing but bangers. It's also really annoying on Arena. You never know what you exile. Like, at least at the end of another game. Okay, now our best draw is just damn. You could always look and be like, oh man, my recall, my time walk got exiled to my Bomat Courier. Why is Bomat Courier my recall and time walk deck? But all right, let's just draw a dam. A dam would be so nice. That's not a dam. All right, let's do what I talked about in the video. I guess we should full control this. There we go. Draw a dam. Exile a dam. Or absolutely nothing. That's unfortunate. Oh, Vamp Tutor, end of turn. That's scary. Time Walk? Yep, that's what I thought. Alrighty. Yeah, I did kind of pseudo predict it. I thought it was kind of funny. Obviously, I was just memeing, but it is really, really funny that they have a Time Walk in their Bomat Courier deck, and it would have been even funnier. We would have never have known, but it would have been even funnier if they exiled it. So anyways, good games, opponent. I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 7. We have a turn 1 Stoneforge Mystic here. We're not going to mulligan that in a million years. This sadly has to get Plains because I never picked up that Tundra in the draft. Okay. I'm playing against a lot of Lutri opponents. Our opponent also has a Mox Jet. Let's hope they can't. Ooh, getting rid of Force of Negation. I don't know if that's good or bad for us. It means that they're likely not an aggressive deck. But, oh my god, double Mox. Nice. But I'm... Ooh, do I want to play Talisman? I don't think I do. Not having blue is going to be kind of a pain in the butt. So am I supposed to just... Maybe I'm supposed to just get... I shouldn't have done this already. Yeah. That's fine. If I get Wastelanded, I get Wastelanded. That was bad. I realized I needed to get blue, so I probably should take a turn off the Stoneforge Mystic. That's fine. We weren't using that anyways. If they have a Wasteland here, then max punish and I deserve to lose, but... I could see just getting the one of basic planes and playing the Stoneforge Mystic turn 1, but then they would have blown up. Ooh. But then they would have just blown up our equipment eventually, which here, I think I'm going to get the Quarry Steel Cutter. If I draw land, like either of them get kind of pumped in a way, but yeah, drawing land and making another token would be really nice. Narset's a problem. If I draw a land, it's less of a problem. Ooh, that was a good mill. Wow, their four surveils were just perfects. Maybe they surveilled one on top. I don't recall. They probably did surveil one on top, but Their 4 surveils to the graveyard were perfect. That's kind of incredible. Speaking of incredible, not being able to play the game. That's pretty incredible. Let's just force a trade, yeah. Play the Corey Stillcutter. That's very unfortunate. I still stand by them blowing up the Mox is honestly fine. It's just unfortunate that this particular turn I could have currencied. But if they didn't blow up the Mox, Corey Stillcutter's getting blown up. And I honestly think I prefer the world that we're currently living in. And I'm really glad they didn't just Narset. And by Narset, I mean Days Undoing or Time Twister there. That okay, sure. Maybe we'll draw a land. Yeah, we did draw a land. Nice. Well, that's unfortunate. I didn't think this deck was going to do too well anyways. We did have a couple great games out of it, though, so that's nice. And I'm just going to concede here after a minute. But either way, remember, one of our wins was literally gifted to us, so it was really a 3-3 finish. It's technically still above what I predicted, but yeah, that's it is what it is. But either way, I'm gonna concede to this person now so they can get on and do some more drafts before it's too late. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. So I just wanted to go over this one more time before I officially signed out for this season. But I really liked the Cosmogran Zenith pick. This card is just incredible. I hope I showed that you don't have to play an aggressive strategy for this card to be good. In fact, I actively think it's better in non-aggressive strategies just because it still makes a board by itself. It can pump that board by itself. And if you're playing, more spell oriented, you're probably double spelling more. So in an aggressive strategy, yeah, you play this and then turn 4, maybe you play 2 drops or a removal spell plus a 2 drop or even a 3 drop if you're like curving out perfectly. But you're probably not triggering it the following turn, and then you're just not triggering it at all after that, probably. Obviously things happen. Maybe you top deck a probe or something. Maybe you top deck a Mishra's Bauble, and the next turn you draw into 2 spells, but you get the gist. So yeah, Cosmogran Zenith, fantastic. Corey Stillcutter, also fantastic. Very unfortunate we did not draw a land to trigger this, to attack the Narset, to prevent them from Time Twistering. I guess that wouldn't have been a prevention because they had the Time Twister in their hand already, it looked like, but and they would have blocked to keep their thing alive, but still. Counterspell was not that great. It did win us a game, arguably 2 games, but at least 1. But the mana base was not the greatest, which leads me back to the Candelabra. The Candelabra did what I said it was going to do. It did help fix mana. We did have some doubles, unfortunately, that made it a little bit harder. But yeah, mostly it just sacked to Legion Extruder, which is another card I feel like is kind of underrated. I really, really enjoyed this card. After that, this deck is just really a pile. There's not really much else to say. I did have fun playing it. The Displacer Kitten, Mightstone, Weakstone, quote unquote combo. Honestly, sometimes it's better, not always, but in a deck like this, it is better than Coveted Jewel. I mean, we had Coveted Jewel and I just chose not to play it. But yeah, this is just a really fun set of cards. Being able to just, mow down their board every time you cast a spell and then doing whatever that spell says as well. But yeah, Damnation. Something I noticed in this cube, the Wrath effects are just really strong. I feel like this deck is kind of mixed between I'm gonna say traditional powered or vintage cubes and the cube that I currently play that you guys see sometimes between these videos, in that it's kind of like a souped up mid-range cube. There's just so many here's a Stoneforge Mystic into a Tersa, into an NT, whatever, and here's my board, deal with it. And it's like, okay, cast Damnation or cast Wrath of God or Damn, as you see on screen. And then their board's dealt with, and then, you get to do your thing, and then now you win. It's fine. I don't know if I like that. In my personal paper cube that I had for the longest time until recently, I kind of leaned towards, more archetypes, I guess you could say. Like I had, the Doomsdays and Thassa's Oracles and Time Vault and things like that. And I had things to help stop those as well. So, it wasn't just, whoever drafted Time Vault wins. I had plenty of ways to deal with it in most of the colors, if not all. But I digress. I noticed that this is a lot of decks just end up being creature decks, and so if just having a Dam or a Damnation or a Wrath of God or whatever in your deck has often, when I cube on my phone or even sometimes on this, has just been like kind of the end all be all, which I don't know if I like that or not. I wish that they would bring back either things. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I really wish they'd incorporate the initiative. I also wish they'd incorporate Oath, for the record. I don't know why they haven't yet. But things that like make the aggro decks actually just not fold to control decks. I've noticed that when I draft even bad control decks, which I'm not going to call this a control deck, but I kind of played it that way. It can often just steal wins because it just casts a board sweeper and then casts an Elspeth or something to take the board over post sweep. And the game is just over. And I don't know if I like that or not. And I think things like the initiative help those things. So yeah, anyways, I'll get off my rant. Not that I think that's necessarily a rant, but I'll let you guys go. I greatly appreciate everyone who watches. I really, really do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next season. Hopefully they change the whatever it's called, the bonus sheet, because I want to open up these packs, but I have all the cards for them already. So I'd rather just wait until they change the bonus sheet and then I'll open them all and then I'll just have the next bonus sheet and I can start saving up again, I guess. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone watching and I'll see you next time. Welcome back to another episode of What's on Edward's Wall. Today I have this Phoenix, Arclight Phoenix specifically. This card is from my friend Chaz, and Chaz was a Oklahoma City local. I don't remember exactly when I met them. I know it was post 2020. But I think it was during back when GHQ was doing a lot of Pioneer events when that became a format. Because he signed me his favorite card from Pioneer that he played a lot. But yeah, so Chaz and I have known each other for a while, and one of my favorite memories with Chaz, I have a couple, but one of my more favorite ones is Hunter Burton, which is like a suicide prevention charity event in Dallas, Texas, or Fort Worth. Don't hate me, Texans. Anyways, he won one of those events before I moved, and on my way down, I stopped at Buc-ee's because that's just what you do. And I texted him. I was like, "Hey, I'm at Buc-ee's. Do you want anything while I'm here?" And he asked for like a piece of fudge, and so I grabbed two different ones, let him pick one. I ate the second one, and he ended up winning. So I was like, "Oh, good luck, fudge. You're welcome." So obviously, I asked for half of his winnings. I'm just kidding, but. Yeah, so that was one of my more favorite memories with Chaz. Chaz also, I invited him to the Tulsa Vintage League tournament one time. He played Doomsday. I think it was 2 rounds in a row. Like the first 2 rounds he played, I believe he just had like natural turn 1 Doomsdays both games, I believe. So like 4 games in a row. Chaz, if you're watching, feel free to correct me in the comments, but I believe that's what it was. It might have even been 3 rounds. Unfortunately, luck caught up with Chaz, and I don't think he made top 8 that particular year, or whatever you want to call it. It's biannual, so or however you want to say that. Again, don't grill me. But anyways, so yeah, my favorite part about Chaz is that he also no longer lives in Oklahoma City. If you noticed, I said was earlier. Chaz actually moved to Indiana, so he and I get to be besties now, and that's kind of why he and I hung out yesterday. It's kind of why I skipped. I know I got I think Tinker next, and then Rite of Flame, but I don't know. I was just in the mood to talk about Chaz since we just hung out, and I really appreciate you, buddy, and I'm glad you came up here so I have someone to hang out with now. So if anyone watching this is from Indiana, shout out. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to hang out. I like Magic. I like retro video games. You know, I feel like I'm a pretty chill guy. So yeah, anyways, Chaz, I love you, brother. Can't wait to hang out with you next time. Thank you so much for this awesome Phoenix. I wear it proudly on my wall. I know it's slightly off camera, but unfortunately they don't all fit. But anyways, I will see you next time, so I'm not rambling anymore, but I appreciate you all for watching. And again, Chaz, I love you, buddy.